Y'all, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is well. Got something that I want to share with you. Very interesting story. It's about food, which is why I'm talking about it. Came out on Saturday, May the 25th, and it is on the Guardian's website. Link will be in the description. So, Greenpeace blocks planting of life-saving golden rice. So, I'm talking about this story because y'all know in the poorer countries around the world, aid is often given in the way of rice and meal and flour, staple staple foods for poor people that will fill you up, but um, not always the healthiest option. Now, there's nothing wrong with rice that's grown naturally. Um, but this genetically modified yellow, what is called golden rice, is you know not good because it's not natural, and it has excuse me, it has stuff in it. It's been altered, and so they want to give it to poor people. Of course, they want to give it to the poor people because they want the poor people to be not well. So they'll tell you it's all kinds of good, healthy stuff in there, and then you find out later it's bad for you. So, it says thousands of children could die after court backs campaign group over genetically modified crop in the Philippines, scientists warn. So, scientists have warned that a court decision to block the growing of genetically modified crop of the genetically modified crop, golden rice in the Philippines, could have catastrophic consequences. Tens of thousands of children could die in the wake of the ruling, they argue. The Philippines had become the first country in 2021 to approve the commercial cultivation of golden rice, which was developed to combat vitamin A deficiency, a major cause of disability and death among children in many parts of the world. So just stop right there. Why all of a sudden, when the children of the corn are ruling the world, there's vitamin deficiencies? Now everybody is vitamin deficient everywhere we are. We're here in the United States, people are vitamin D deficient. We are vitamin B12 deficient. We don't eat what we're supposed to eat. We're eating unnatural stuff. We're eating stuff that's out of season. We don't work outside like we used to. We have all these things. We have all this artificial food, genetically modified and ultra processed food. We eat a whole lot of stuff that we're not supposed to consume. It's pushed to us and told to us we're told that it's good, and it's not good. And then you have the fact that resources are being taken from other places and replaced with stuff that's lesser quality. So, we the whole earth is struggling. Like, we're all struggling. But you have to wonder, why do we need them to give us vitamin A in rice? Why can't we just eat a food that uh, naturally has vitamin A in it, that's not genetically modified? And so when you start thinking, like, why do they keep doing this? And even though they continue to see that nothing that they do ever works, they always have to create another solution for the problem that they created. And we have this compilation of mistakes in the new mess, mistakes in the new mess, mistakes in the new mess. And so, like, the whole world is unhealthy. That's why the children of the corn got to get out of power. Like, the Most High got to come back and set things in order. And these people are not going to get away with this stuff. And notice that they are worrying about children. Always focus on children. They know how to compel you to support their bullshit. So it says, but campaigns by Greenpeace and local farmers last month persuaded the country's Court of Appeal to overturn that approval and to revoke this. The groups had argued that golden rice has not been shown to be safe and the claim was backed by the by the court. A decision that was hailed as a monumental win by Greenpeace. So I don't know whose side Greenpeace is on, but anytime they can stop us from eating crap, I'm happy. So it says many scientists, however, say there is no evidence that golden rice is in any way dangerous. I don't care what they say; they always talking about something. These scientists, sorcerers, same thing. Today, you can't trust nobody. So, more to the point, they argue that it is a lifesaver. The court's decision is a catastrophe, said Professor Martin Quain of Bonn University and a member of the Golden Rice Humanitarian Board, which promotes the introduction of the crop. It goes completely against the science. So here we go again with the science, which has found no evidence of any risk associated with golden rice and will result in thousands of children dying. Well, why the children can't eat the regular rice? What's wrong with the regular rice? If the situation is they're not going to eat, then they can just eat regular rice, right? Then you get vitamin A from a whole lot of other sources, correct? Why not plant those other sources? Why they just gotta have this rice? The decision is to be challenged by the Philippines government, and agriculture experts say it is likely it will be overturned sometime in the near future, but the setback is likely to have profound impacts. Other countries such as India and Bangladesh, where vitamin A deficiency is also widespread, have been considering planting golden rice but are now likely to be deterred. So everybody's planning to poison us for the future, as you can see. As you can see. So y'all need to look up the golden rice, see where it came from, see how it was created. It's not natural. If you see it, don't eat it. Just saying. Their situation is extremely alarming. I'm sorry, the situation is extremely alarming, said Adrian Dubach, another board member. Planting golden rice was not being done for profit. Nobody was trying to control what farmers grow or control what people eat. It was being done to save lives. Well, why are the lives in jeopardy to start with? Let's go back there. Probably because the children of the corn are intervening in some things and causing cost to rise where farmers have to choose cheaper alternatives. Sometimes people are forced by their governments to grow certain things. So they make these statements, but they don't say why. So it says vitamin A is found in most foods in the West, but in developing countries, it is conspicuously lacking in diets, a deficiency that is associated with significant morbidity and mortality from common childhood infections and is the world's leading preventable cause of childhood blindness, according to the World Health Organization. Estimates suggest it causes deaths of more than 100,000 children a year. So as a solution, Peter Bayer, professor of cell biology at Freiburg University in Germany. That's all you got to say right there. You know the children of the corn is behind it. That's why you shouldn't put it in your mouth. So if you are smart, if you're a believer, if you believe in what the Most High tells you, you read your Apocrypha, you should not be eating this stuff. We shouldn't be eating this stuff anyway. We shouldn't be trusting our enemies. We shouldn't be partaking of anything that they give us because they are unclean. So the unclean people are trying to give chosen people unclean food. Go figure. And even if they're not chosen, they are, a part of people who are ancient people. They want to get rid of all the ancient people and don't have nobody on this planet but them. So, all right. And Ingo Patricus of the Institute of Plant Sciences in Switzerland. Oh, look, in Switzerland, where Klaus Schwab is from, where he is now running his scam, World Economic Forum. Began working in the 1990s using the new technology of genetic manipulation. They inserted genes into the DNA of normal rice to create a variant that could make beta carotene, a rich orange colored pigment that is also a key precursor chemical used by the body to make vitamin A. This is golden rice, which has since been shown to be an effective source of vitamin A in humans. Countries, including America, Australia, New Zealand, have ruled golden rice is safe. Okay, so all the white people say the stuff is safe. The children of the corn nations say it is safe. The children of the corn nations created it. But guess who they want to give it to? They want to give it to other people who don't want it and don't need it. Carrots or some other vegetable native to that land that has vitamin A in it. Why not grow that thing in abundance and give it to children instead of modifying the rice and messing with the genes of not only the rice but us? Because eventually we start having issues. We start having issues with insulin. Our bodies can't break that stuff down. uh, Depending on how poor we are and how much of this genetically modified stuff we have to eat, we begin to grow, larger breasts. We begin to get fat deposits in places that shouldn't be. We have all sorts of issues. So why they just can't leave well enough alone? Why these white people in Germany and Switzerland worried about what's going on in the Philippines? That's what you need to ask. What's really happening? It's because the colonizer still controls everybody. And this is just further proof, because there's no way, if I'm living in South Carolina, I'm worried about what's going on in Florida. I just can't. I'm not. There's no reason that my government should be worried about what's going on in another country, and we shouldn't be meddling in nobody else's business. But because children of the corn can't keep their hands to themselves, and they always messing with shit, they always got to be trying to do something to help. It's the help you don't need. And the world is finding out they don't need their help. So, um, good for these folks for fighting this good fight. This is gold. Oh, I'm sorry, I read that. Golden rice was the first transgenic crop. There's that trans word again, to be created that benefited people, not companies or farmers. Yet its use has been blocked from the start, Portracus told the Observer last week. I'm extremely worried about the decision of the Philippines court, not just for its impact on the take-up of golden rice, but its effect on the growing of other transgenic crops. And that's the problem. They want us to be eating trans foods, frankenfoods. This view is shared by many scientists. In 2016, more than 150 Nobel laureates signed an open letter that attacked Greenpeace for campaigning against golden rice and other genetically modified crops. Greenpeace had misrepresented the risk, benefits, and impacts of genetically altered food plants, they said. There has never been a single confirmed case of negative health outcomes for humans or animals from their consumption. Well, we don't know because they don't study nothing but what they want to study, and then they lie like they did with the lollipop. And all the truth comes out years later, but not before you took it. And some of us died. Some of us still have, health issues, and they're still making it and giving it to people. The more lollipops you've had, the more at risk you are, and your DNA is altered now. So you can't fight off illnesses. And then when they unleash the next cootie, you ain't gonna be able to fight it. Your immune system is gonna be weak. So you're constantly having to buy stuff to strengthen something that was naturally there to protect you. So here they are playing God. That's basically what they're doing. They're playing God. And these people are anti Messiah. I hate to say anti-Christ, but anti-Messiah. So it says, Greenpeace remains adamant, however, there are specific problems with golden rice, said Wilhelmina Pellegrina, head of Greenpeace Philippines, last week. Farmers who brought this case with us, along with local scientists, currently grow different varieties of rice, including high value seeds they have worked with for generations and have control over. They're rightly concerned that if their organic or heirloom varieties get mixed up with patented, genetically engineered rice, that could sabotage their certifications, reducing their market appeal and ultimately threatening their livelihoods. Pellegrina added that relying on a single crop system to alleviate malnutrition reduced resilience and increased vulnerability to climate impacts, a serious problem in one of the world's most climate vulnerable countries. If things don't work out, it's farmers and the consumers who pick up the tab. There are also more practical, tried and tested solutions to tackle vitamin A deficiency, such as food supplementation programs and supporting people to grow a range of crops, including those rich in vitamin A. She claimed that that should be where attention and investment is focused. Now, didn't I just say that? If you got common sense, this is what you do. But the children of the corn are so sinister and so manipulative, and everything at the end of the day is always, how can we get people's money? How can we control everybody? And so this is what we are dealing with. So anyway, I wanted to share this with you just to show you how children of the corn operate. They're doing this all over the globe. It's not just in the Philippines, it's everywhere we are. If you're white, they do it to us too. Don't get me wrong. If we live in a Western nation, a white nation, they do it to us too. We're eating genetically modified foods. But like when you start messing with staple crops like rice and wheat and corn and all those other genetically modified things that we currently eat, you start seeing that's why people's bellies are big. That's why everybody looks like the Michelin man. When you eat different, when you eat the stuff that's not genetically modified, it really, you could tell the difference in a very short period of time. So these people are all trying to make us sick, and we should be deathly afraid of anything that they do, especially now that they're being exposed. So shout out to the people for looking out for themselves and for not being afraid to stand up to these people. And that's something that we all are going to have to do. Um, if we don't have food and water, we can't survive long. And so we really need to pay attention to what we're putting in our bodies. We need to source stuff. And again, if you can, you need to try to get you a little piece of land and try to grow as much as you can. If you can't buy land, get you some buckets and some dirt and put your stuff in do something. But we're gonna have to start getting seeds and buying seeds and preparing to grow our own stuff, because there's no way we're going to be able to remain healthy with the children of the corn always tampering with the food. So shout out to the people who are able to grow their own stuff, like Brother Yuta, and I know some other people. I did plant some stuff this year. Don't know how good it's going to do, because it seemed like the deer's eating everything up. Something actually was pulling my stuff up after I planted. I got plants this year, and it's still not going well. So looks like I'm gonna have to buy a greenhouse, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm not gonna give up. So we all have to do our part in order to work to try to sustain ourselves. Uh, we're not gonna be able to rely on grocery stores much longer, and so you got to get into the habit of being able to do what you can for yourself. And even if that means just growing simple things like tomatoes and cucumbers and some green, onions, leeks, stuff that you can just throw in a pot and make soup, or make some stir fry and call it a day. You gotta be able to take care of yourself and grow. Understand that we're not gonna be able to trust what these people give us. They want to control your food. And this is a perfect example of what it looks like. All right, y'all. This is Marley K. Love y'all. And I'm out.